welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nyasha Tandi, and if this is your first time, I hope your energy and mine connect. I hope you and I click so much that you actually end up subscribing. And if this is hope, welcome back, welcome back, welcome. Hey, hey, okay. So you guys, I just wanted to chill with you guys today. We're just going to be chilling. We're going to be talking about some posts that I came across recently, and I just thought, hey, I think I want to say a couple of things about these posts because, man, it's a lot out here, and I feel some of these things need to be talked about. So let's talk about them. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. This post I came across said, this post says, 3 weeks to the wedding, my guy cancelled it because his girl's mother could not control her. She didn't listen to anybody in her family. Nobody can call her to order except her spiritual father. So my guy decided to end things to save himself the future stress. Right or wrong decision? You hey, I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I believe this is not the reason he cancelled the wedding. There probably was something. There's a backstory to it, because how can you, from nowhere, you've dated this woman. You've dated this woman for a very long time, at least a couple of months, or at the very least a couple of weeks. You have dated her and you have learned certain things about her. A stubborn person is not difficult to identify. You will see this person is stubborn. So if you notice that in your relationship, it's not you who can control her. Hey, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Saying, I want to marry her. Because if you cannot reason with the person you want to marry, if nobody, and then you just, because it's not a matter of, other people being able to control this person. And this goes both ways. It's not even about, the man can control woman, the woman can control man. It's not the case. That's not the case. The case is the very fact that you can't be with a person you cannot communicate with, a person you cannot bring to order. It's not possible. As a woman, if you're going to decide to pick a man, you can't have a conversation with them, bring him to a level where you guys understand each other to some degree. Not that every time you guys have a problem, you need to go and look for his father or his uncles. And you're on your own. Can you not resolve this matter? And if you at any point realize you cannot control the situations that come up in your relationship, to ensure that both of you actually agree on the same thing. Jerk to even say you want to get married. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you can see right now, you can probably see, you can see it, you can identify this person is stubborn, this person listens to nobody. No matter what I do, what I say, this person will never listen to me. And then furthermore, you realize, oh, she doesn't listen to anybody. You realize, oh, he doesn't listen to anybody. And then you think you are the one who's going to actually make them change their mind and be like, no, I've changed my mind, no, I'm going to listen to you after marriage. Like, are you for real? Like, this is that. What kind of madness is that? Because at the root of this problem, guys, is the thought that says marriage changes people. That marriage does not change people, because really that's exactly what I am aching to say. Marriage not change people. Oh, hey, it won't change nobody. Marriage does not change anybody. Marriage does not change people at all. Like, it's a lie. If you're thinking that you are dating a person, then suddenly when you get married, they're going to suddenly change. Miraculously, they're going to be the person you have been hoping they would be. Because women, we're fixers, So you meet a guy, you already start noticing other things that you have to change about the guy. You're like, I like the way he looks, but this gotta go. And I like the way he talks, but I wish he could, add a bit of vigor to it. Well, I don't know. Like, let's get into the next verse. I don't know, you guys. What do you think about this? Like, what do you think? Like, let's get to the next. This post says, my guy working as a cleaner in the US sent $5 million to his wife in Nigeria to start a house project. His wife used the money to sow a seed in her church. Hey! Oh my gosh! My guy has filed for a divorce. To me, it was a harsh decision. After all, she gave the money to God. What would you do if she was your wife? This one is simple. Like, she sowed a seed. She sowed a seed. It's simple. This particular issue has so much more than just sowing seeds. It's a matter of managing your finances as a couple. Like, as a couple, because at one point, you know, things start shifting from, oh no, I'm just spending his money, to, okay, this is actually our money that I'm being reckless with. And until you reach that point, I personally believe that there is no relationship that is like leading to marriage. Until you start to realize that you being reckless with his money is essentially you being reckless with your money that is meant to be used even after you guys are married. Because when people get married, okay, if you remember the video we had on which video was it? Was it love? Yes, if you remember the love portions video, we talked about how, you know, when it's an actual marriage, one of the four factors that one of the four factors we mentioned about like the validity of a marriage, one of them was the totality. And we talked about how that totality means that there is Prince of all, like, I am giving myself to you, all of me, all that I have and all that I ever will have is ours. There is an aspect of totality, like, all of me. I'm not holding back my sexuality. I'm not holding back my finances. I'm not holding back anything from you, everything. So there is no prenup in a godly marriage. Yeah, yes, I know you people are good too. Oh no, like, oh, she's not my money. If you think this person's after your money, why are you marrying them? Like, if you know, it's because in your hearts of hearts, you know, this person's after my money. And that's the problem. If you know this person loves you for you, why do you see the need or the necessity of a prenup? Are you like coming together with the idea that you guys are going to break up, or let me just protect myself just in case something happens? Why are you working with the if tag? Why are you operating on the if tag? That's it. That's a whole other video. But anyway, it's not a bad thing that this woman gave money to God. However, I know that considering the fact that the money came from her husband, she did not do right, because your spouse, your family is the first church. And so what you and your husband, you and your wife, what you and your spouse basically have is worship to God. Your union is worship to God. If it is a godly marriage, then your union is worship to God. And so there is no way that, because God tells us as women, like, submit to your husband, you know? So, like, under that very fact that, you know, she was trying to be a godly woman, I don't feel that she actually looked at it with the right eyes. Because if your husband tells you, babe, can you please put this money into project X or so project, and then you take the money, you know what your husband has said to you, and you intentionally disobey him just because you want to sow a seed. Hey guys, it's all I do. That one I don't agree with it at all. Like, no, it's senseless. Because in a bid to try and do something good for God, you are literally disobeying God, because God tells you, no, you submit to your husband, and you're like, God, you know what? I want to submit to you in a different way. I'm not going to submit to this guy. I'm just going to give you the money because you're so good. I'm not saying God does not deserve money. I'm not saying don't sow your seed. If you want to sow all your money, I beg, continue, carry your money and go and sow all of it. But all I'm saying is you can't take money that has been given to you for a certain project and then do something completely different with it because what? You feel like you're doing a good thing. I mean, that just won't work. I mean, guys, you tell me, what would you do if you were a guy and you gave your wife money to do something? Would you go pay the kids' fees and then she took the money to her church to sow a seed? Hey! Oh! You guys, this one, I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what what you think. Let me know what you think. Do you endorse this movement? Hey, Christian Women's Society, tell me. Hey, do you endorse what your sister did? Because it makes no sense to me. Like, why would you do that? Why would you? So it's the issue of obedience to your husband. It's the issue of finances as a couple. Do you spend do you actually plan out your finances together? Because I feel most times this is one of the leading causes in divorce is actually related to finances. So how you handle finances as a couple just really goes a long way to ensure the strength of your marriage is maintained, So if you're not doing things together financially, if you're not planning together, if you're not budgeting together, if you're not going through your bank statements together and all that stuff, if there's financial independence between the spouses, it causes problems. And I feel like that's a very big issue which would need a separate video. But honestly speaking, I feel at a certain point in your dating relationship, you need to introduce the finance chart. You need to know if this person has any considerable debt, because when you take a person into your life, when you bring a person into your life as a spouse, then that means their debt becomes your debt. Your debts become his debts. So you might want to really kind of pause and take a look at how you guys or how your partner handles money and how they think. I also feel this is something the guy could have noticed from a very long time ago. If you know your wife, she likes to sow seeds, even without telling you. Like, it's kind of obvious. I just guess, like, men don't think that far ahead in that sense. Like, no, I don't think my wife would do that. I don't think she would take the money for, like, the seed, for the project, for the housing project, and take it and go sow a seed. Yeah? Guys, I ain't getting him now. You need lay you. No. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I said, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, and the last one for today is some of the easiest women to have sex with go to church. That was the post this guy made, and honestly speaking, this was just so disheartening. And I think as Christian women, we're failed if this is the mentality or the conclusion that people come up with. Most times, if we were to have, in a relationship, in any relationship, the woman determines when the sex happens. It is always the woman who determines when the sex is going to happen. And it's always the man who determines when security is going to happen. It's always the guy who determines when you guys become an official couple. It's always the guy who determines when you guys get engaged. It's always the guy who determines essentially when you guys get married and become like a complete unit. And on the other hand, it's always the woman who determines exactly when to have sex. Like, if the lady says, no, we're not having sex, then that's it. We're not, like, it's done. Let's pack our bags and get going. Oh, thank you. When the woman says no sex, there is no sex that's going to happen. Unless it's going to rape you, which is not the kind of discussion we're having today. My point is, if you look at it, in every relationship, it's the man determining the security of the relationship, and it's the woman determining when people will have sex. So as a woman, if you carry yourself with the spirit of looseness and say, no, I'm going to sleep with them because if I don't sleep with them, another woman will sleep with them and then he'll have sex with her and then he'll leave me. I don't know what kind of prayer we need to do for you. I don't know what kind of anointing oil we should put over your head, because essentially what she's saying is, I will sell myself short so that he doesn't have to go all the way in making sure that what I want is respected and carried out in a loving manner. That's essentially what you're saying. To say, oh no, I don't really love myself as much as I love this guy. Like, I love this guy so much more than I love myself. And then you take a picture, you take a selfie, and then you post it up on Instagram, and you say, oh, show myself some love. Oh no, self-love is so important and all that. But there you are. There you are. Showing another man, showing a man who does probably not care about you that much. Because men are selfish, and that's the sad truth. Well, they were created like that, I guess. And it's something they have to consciously fight. Just like women are a lot. But men are selfish, and you will not find any man in his very natural element saying, I'm going to choose you over myself. Like, no man thinks like that. They have to consciously choose you out of love. It's an act of the will. It's not something natural to a man to be like, oh yeah, I just love you so much. I'm just going to like choose you over me. Like, men don't do that. But it's always the women. It's always us. It's always us, because our hearts are made like that. I don't know. Actually, no. It's always the women who are there telling men, no, it's fine. You can settle. Because in a relationship, it's the woman who sets the standard of the relationship. If you set the bar really low, no man is going to be motivated to raise the bar and like start working to a new challenge. Like, nah, so I'm going to challenge myself. No man will challenge himself to rise the bar of, no, this is how I'm going to treat her. Like, she set the bar here, but I'm going to treat her like this. Like, where have you ever gone? Like, have you ever been to well, you've been to a store, obviously. Have you ever gone shopping and then while you're trying to get something in a place where you can bargain? Exactly. So if you've been to a shop where you can bargain and get the price reduced so that you can buy it, you understand the concept of bargaining. So if you get to a store and then they tell you, oh, this pair of shoes is actually $35, and like, you be like the shoes, there's never going to be a moment where you'll say, oh no, I like the pair of shoes so much, I'm going to pay $55 for it. The most you'll probably do is try to bargain again. You will. I'm like, oh no, can you reduce the price a little bit? And like, bring it down to the lowest that the seller is willing to go. And that's the thing. However, if you go into certain shops, there's certain shops that you go into, and you know, there's no asking them to lower the price for me here. Like, like you can't go to Rolls Royce and tell them, oh yeah, can you guys like lower the price for me? And you won't even have the nerve to do that, because you know that that's not how they roll. And that's exactly the same mentality that these men have. Like, if you set the bar really low, if you're going to treat yourself like a roadside vendor who's, I'm not like throwing shade, I'm just saying, if you're going to treat yourself as a small time supplier of just basic goods that can be purchased by anybody, then do not expect to be treated like a Rolls Royce. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you treat yourself like you are free for all, that's how he's going to treat you. You teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to love you. You teach people how to treat you. And if you teach people to treat you in a very badly manner, it's going to happen. And you can't blame them. It's you. It is all on you. Yes, it's all on you. What makes you so sure? Like, if you say there's no sex here, and if the guy really truly loves you as much as he claims, that if you say it to him, he's going to go away. Like, what is waiting for a few months or a year or something like that for something you're going to be getting for the rest of your life? Do you get my drift? And the worst thing is that it's always the people who decide to not listen to God, who after they get married, they start blaming God. No, God, like, my relationship is not working. God, my marriage is really like on the rocks. Like, God, why would you let me go through this? Like, you put yourself in a situation and you're going to blame God? Like, what kind of madness is that? Like, you put yourself in a situation and then you're like, God, why are you allowing me to go through this? Where the will of God is not present, God's protection is not going to be hovering you like that, because you essentially went out of the fold, and then you want to demand or feel very entitled to the protection that you have just left. Like, you leave a gated community and then go stay outside the gated community, and then you start complaining that the security guard who guards the gated community is not protecting your property, which is outside the gated community. Like, just remember this, as a Christian woman especially, how you carry yourself is not just for you. It reflects on every other Christian woman, because that's when we have people telling us that, you know, like, women who are very easy to get into bed, to drag into bed, or women who go to church, because we have lowered our standards so much that people think we're such easy prey. Like, a lot of people think people who go to church are very gullible because we have painted the image of being gullible, and that is all on us. I don't blame them. But I blame a few people who have made this out to be the picture, because now that's the picture that we're all seeing in, and it's the wrong picture. That is not who we are. So yeah, as a daughter of God, as a child of God, just remember, as you carry yourself, it's not just you you're representing, it's you're carrying the whole image of every Christian woman. Like, you are the contact point for that particular person, and how they're going to think after you have sex with them, after you tell them, no, I don't have premarital sex, and then he convinces you with what, pizza and a can of what, Pepsi, and then you say yes, and then what happens after that? What else do you guys like? Belgian chocolate? Guys, like, you know what? This is getting too frustrating. It's just getting too frustrating. My blood pressure's starting to rise. Hey, it's just starting to rise. It's not supposed to be like this. But I think you guys get my drift. You guys just got my drift. You got my drift. I got your drift. Okay, cool, yeah. So yeah, you guys let me know if you would like more commentary type of videos. I will try and film those when I have time. And yeah, have an amazing day. I will see you next time. Feel free to catch my other videos. Bye.